Demon Gate is one of the bosses in Final Fantasy VII that casually reminds you the game is done being nice. You walk into the Temple of Ancients thinking you're progressing the story, and suddenly a giant angry wall is trying to erase your entire party from existence. For speedrunners though, this fight isn't about surviving, it's about controlling the complete chaos. Demon Gate is a massive run killer in Final Fantasy VII speedruns. The boss hits incredibly hard and has around 10,000 HP, and its attacks can completely destroy your setup. If one thing goes wrong, the real problem is timing. Your balance in healing, menuing, damage, and barrier management, all whilst the boss is slowly marching towards you, preparing demon rush attacks that can wipe your party almost instantly. Before the fight even begins, runners spend a surprising amount of time aside in menus setting up everything perfectly. This fight is heavily role-based. Cloud is constantly damaging DG, mostly relying on regular attacks, steadily chipping away at his health, while Kate Sif plays the support but also handles burst damage through Dice. Dice is terrifying in speedruns because it can either save the fight instantly or completely betray the run. A high roll massively speeds up the kill, but a bad roll means the fight drags on long enough for DG to become extremely dangerous. So runners are constantly making split-second decisions. Do you risk another dice? Do you heal? Do you attack? Or do you just play safe and lose time? The biggest hidden enemy in the fight isn't even Demon Gate itself, it's the menus. Every second spent inside the sub-menus burns valuable barrier time from Big Guard. If barrier expires right before Demon Rush, the fight can collapse instantly. So runners actually try minimize menuing as much as possible, and you'll often see fast healing inputs, rapid item usage, and extremely aggressive attack pacing just to preserve barrier time longer, enough to survive the next phase. One of the scariest parts of the fights happens around the second or third Demon Rush setup. Big Guard usually starts wearing off right about then, so runners sometimes intentionally let time pass for a moment while Demon Gate slowly creeps forward, just so barrier fully expires so another one can be reapplied correctly. It looks awkward if you don't know what's happening, but it's actually controlled panic management, because if you cast Big Guard too early and timing overlaps badly, you can lose the protection at the worst possible moment. And that's what makes Demon Gate such a legendary speedrun fight. It's not flashy, glitches, or game-breaking exploits, it's pure execution under pressure. One bad dice roll, one delayed menu, or missed heal, and the entire run can disappear in an instance. Classic Final Fantasy VII. Demon Gate is also one of them fights that perfectly represents old school RPG difficulty. There's no giant warning telling you when it's about to happen. The game just throws you into a brutal boss fight and expects you to figure it out. And in speedruns, that pressure gets amplified even more because runners aren't trying to survive, they're trying to survive efficiency. That's why this fight has stayed memorable for so many years in the Final Fantasy VII community. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know which Final Fantasy VII boss you want to see covered next. There are still plenty of insane fights, glitches, and speedrun strategies left to break down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.